In this video, I will talk to you about the problem with Indian readers. 10 things that are wrong with Indian readers and 10 things that we need to change right away. Hey guys, I'm Sankalpita and you're watching BookGeeks India, which is a channel where I make book related videos. Like I said, in this video, we are going to talk about 10 things that are wrong with Indian readers, 10 things that we absolutely need to change right away, 10 problems with Indian readers. And because I have a lot of things to talk to you about, let's get on with the video. Number 1. Want to read a lot of books, want to read more, but can't find the time for it. Now this is something that a lot of readers tell me, but I want to ask you one serious question. You do watch Netflix, right? You do watch social media, you do spend time outside of your house roaming around. Then how can you not find time for reading? We are not CEOs of multinationals. We are not presidents and prime ministers of country. We can surely find time. And trust me, CEOs of multinationals are where they are because they do manage to find time to read books. So stop with this excuse right now that I can't find time. Number 2, stop being judgmental. We Indians are a judgmental lot, and when it comes to reading, we are also judgmental. How? If someone is reading Savi Sharma or Chetan Bhagat, we are quick to judge. If somebody is reading non-fiction, we think that they are boring. If somebody is reading novels, we think that they are wasting time. If somebody is reading classics, we think that they are just too boring. They need to explore contemporary. If somebody is reading contemporary, people think that no, that is not literature. If somebody is reading vernacular languages, Marathi, Hindi, Telugu, people think that no, they are trash. If somebody is reading English, we are very quick to judge, telling them that they are slaves of the British. I mean, why guys, why? Why do we have to judge everybody as a reader? Why can't we let people read whatever they want to? Everybody has a market, even Chetan Bhagat has a market. There is a reason people still read him. There is a reason his books are still getting sold. So why do we need to judge people on the basis of what they read? Just stop doing it right away. As it is, readers are a very small community in Indian population. We need to stick together and stop being judgmental about what we read and what others are reading. Number 3, don't want to waste time and money on debut authors. Let me tell you one thing, or let me ask you one thing. Don't you want to try out new restaurants if they open in your locality or in your neighborhood? Don't you go and explore new places? Then why do you think that you will be wasting time on a debut author? When you discover something new, when you explore something new, there are things that you would like and there are things you might not like. Why don't you pick up debut authors and give them a chance? They also deserve to be heard, to be read. So why do you stay away? Trust me guys, I have tried a lot of debut authors from my personal picks, from Kindle Unlimited, and I have discovered some wonderful gems, and this would not have been possible if I only stuck to regular authors, to authors who were already famous. So I want you also to give chance to debut authors. Number 4, not enough attention to Indian literature. Trust me guys, I'm saying this from my own experience. People do not want to read Indian literature. People do not want to read Indian authors. I don't know why that is, but it is there very much. When I started book blogging, I was mostly dedicated to Indian authors. I used to read books by Indian authors. I used to find Indian authors. And somehow when I started my channel, my BookTube channel, which was in 2016. So I thought the same thing that I have been doing since 2013, that is book blogging about Indian authors. That same thing I will continue to do in my book channel. But when I started talking about Indian books and Indian authors, a lot of people came to me, why don't you review foreign authors? Why don't you talk about foreign books? Why don't you pick up so and so author? Like, I used to get this so much that I finally thought that okay, I have to read foreign authors. It's not that I had something against them. It was just that when I started, I had this kind of small passion in me to talk about Indian authors, to promote Indian literature. And it was only that underlying thought that led me to talk more about Indian books. But somehow I understood that my readers don't want to see it. My readers want me to talk about more and more foreign authors, and that's how I changed. So I don't know why this stigma is against Indian authors. Like, okay, don't talk about mainstream authors. They are popular authors whose books get sold by the million. You don't need to buy them, but you can always discover new beautiful voices, and there are so many of them. People like Hansda Sovendra Shekhar, he writes so well, but nobody knows about him. People like Mamang Dai, Sahitya Academy Award winner, beautiful writing, nobody knows about her. People like Chetan Raj Shrestha, Amazing author, amazing book. But do you know about him? No. Why? Because people don't show that much interest in Indian literature, and it's a really, really sad thing. Number 5 is also related to the same point. We don't follow Indian awards at all. Now, this is something again that I'm talking from my own experiences. When I started, I never used to follow a Nobel Prize for literature that well. I never used to follow Booker Prize that well. And that's the reason because I always wanted to focus on Indian authors. But then going forward, I realized that there is a certain kind of enthusiasm in Indian readers about these awards. People are like crazy. People follow them. People follow all these international awards. But nobody knew until very recently about Indian awards. And I'm not talking about people who are regular readers. I'm talking about people who once in a while, every once in a while, read books. People don't know about Indian awards at all. Nobody follows the Sahitya Academy Award. Very few people know about the DSC Prize for South Asian Literature. Few people know about the JCB Prize for Literature, and that's because they have promoted it very well. It's not because we have increased our interest in awards. No. So let us do that. Let us follow Indian awards. Number 6 is a phenomena that I think is as old as time. This is, we love to read books, we love to borrow books, but we never ever ever want to return them. Now, Indians have this crazy thing that we think it's okay to borrow books. It's of course okay if you are taking the permission of the library owner or the owner of the book. But a lot of people have told me that that doesn't happen. If somebody comes and visits their library, their home, sometimes they find books missing. I have seen the same thing happening to me. I do have a lot of guests around, and sometimes I just don't find my books. I don't know where they go, but they just disappear. Second, I've also seen the same phenomenon with my Nanaji. My Nanaji had this beautiful library. He's no more, God bless his soul. He had this amazing library and it was full of rare books. But slowly and steadily, he started realizing that people are just taking away his books without his permission. I mean, what gives us the right to do that? So please, borrow books only by taking people's permission. Second, if you borrow books, please be kind and be patient to return them. Let the owner not ask you again and again and beg you to return their books. And third, sometimes people do return books, but they are in such horrible, pathetic condition that it's absolutely disgusting. So please, let us show some manners and be chivalrous when it comes to book borrowing and returning on time in perfect condition. Number 7, we look down upon paid reviews, we look down upon people who charge for their book reviews, and we also look down on authors who seek our services. Why? I wish the world was a beautiful place where all we could do is read free books, but sadly it isn't. We all have bills to pay. We just cannot survive on goodwills and your comments. It would have been a utopian world, but sadly it isn't. I need to work. I have my own expenses that I need to take care of and not beg money from my parents or my husband. I am a responsible person and I want to be financially independent. Publishers charge for publishing a book. They do not do it for free. Authors charge for writing a book. They do not do it for free. So how can you expect a reader to review books for free? Authors come to me for beta reading. Authors also come to me because I run the best Indian book blog since the last 7 years. Let's just say that I have few books to read in a month. Then authors come and tell me that Sankalpita, we want you to review our book. There's nothing wrong in it. After all, I'm spending time in reading. I'm spending almost a day in reading a 250-page book. Again, I'm spending 2 to 3 hours in writing the review, and posting it is another story altogether. So don't you think all these hours, almost 20 hours that I spend on a particular book, deserve some remuneration? And not just me, there are so many people out there, so many wonderful book bloggers and bookstagrammers and book reviewers, booktubers who do it, who charge for their services because they absolutely should. They are spending their time, then why shouldn't they be paid for it? Number 8, and I get this from a lot of parents, they think that when their children read novels, and sometimes this gets replaced by friends or peers or anybody in your family, they think that when a person is reading a fiction, a novel, it's just simple waste of time. How? Non-fictions are amazing. I love non-fiction personally. I do read a lot of them. But it doesn't mean that I do not gain anything from fiction. Fictions are amazing as well. You gain a lot of knowledge from reading fiction. And it's not just knowledge. It's your creativity that is getting a boost. It's your imagination that is getting a boost. It's so many things happening at once. It increases your empathy. It increases your vocabulary. It increases your worldly wisdom. So there are a lot of things that you can gain from reading fictions. So please don't let anybody tell you, and please don't tell anybody that reading fiction is a waste of time. No, it's not. Number 9 is that some people think that if they can't retain something that they have read last year or last to last year, then they think it was a waste of time. I mean, how? You have been consuming food since the day you were born. Do you keep track of everything? Do you remember every single item that you ate? No. You have been watching movies since your childhood. Do you remember everything scene by scene? Do you remember every single movie or serial that you have watched? No. You must have traveled to different places. Do you remember every single day of every single vacation that you took? Then, if that is not waste of time, how is this? And anyhow, if you think reading something and forgetting is a waste of time, then it's much better waste of time than watching something on Netflix and forgetting it. Trust me, it's not about the end result. It's not about memory at all. It's the process that matters. It is the process that you relish, that experience that you should cherish, that matters the most. Not to mention, when you read, you are engaging your mental capacities. So, reading is definitely better. Don't think about you might forget it and it'll be a waste of time. Just stop with that thought right away. The last point is that Indian readers just don't want to spend money on books. We have a budget for everything. We go out, we hang out with friends, we go to restaurants, we travel, we buy clothes, we buy accessories. We have a budget for everything else, but not for books. Why? If you're a reader, then why can't you allocate a particular amount of your budget towards reading, towards books? Why is it so difficult? So this is something that I also do. This is something that is wrong with me, inherently wrong with me right now as well. I try to be better, but I have to remind myself that no, do not be a miser when it comes to books. Now currently I'm at that point of life where I allocate almost 4,000 to 5,000 per month for books. And this might happen every month or this might happen over a couple of months, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I have this small budget set aside for buying books. Now, like I said, this is also something that I'm working on currently. I have this thing that I see a book which is around 800 or 900 or 1,000 and I immediately kind of feel like no, it's too expensive. Now I want to buy that book, but somehow there's a small part in my brain that tells me no, it's too expensive. But yeah, slowly and steadily I'm working towards it. So that's it from me in this video, guys. These were the 10 things that I think are wrong with Indian readers, and these are the 10 things that I think we should definitely start working on right now. And do let me know if you enjoyed this video. All these points came from my own experiences. All these points came from my personal observations. Do let me know if you also have something to contribute to, and also let me know if you have a counter argument. These are my personal truths. Your truth might be different from that. One person can never be right. I don't have an absolute truth. Most things in the world are always somewhere in between. So if you have any other perspective, if you have any other argument, if you have any other suggestion or things that you think are wrong with Indian readers, let me know in the comments below and let's talk. And that's it from me in this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until the next video, which will be pretty soon. Bye.